Good afternoon, podcast community. Man, we have a special show in store for you today. The first out of 300 podcasts that we've done, we've never had sisters on the podcast. So this is a first. And as we were talking earlier, there's only one first in life. You don't have like you were the first. No, it doesn't work that way. So congratulations on being the first. I know when we met at the Church of the Apostles at the Senior Resource Fair, it was cool talking to y'all, and thank you for being a podcast guest.
Thank you.
Tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve, and then we'll get into the podcast.
Okay.
I'll let my wonderful sister start
Okay,
us off.
who's the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Okay, oldest sister goes first.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
thank you. Well, my name is Angee Brown, and our company is Yana Consulting, and we serve seniors, mostly seniors, mainly through assisted living, finding them assisted living, independent living, memory care. But we also have two other pieces to our company, which are advocacy in real estate. Tamara's happens to be a broker, so she does the real estate piece, and we both do the advocacy piece and the senior placement piece as well. So I've been a nurse for well over 20 years. And in most of my career, I've worked with geriatrics, and that's where my heart has always been to serve seniors, especially the ones that need the most help. So that's one of the things that I do, and I'll let Tamara tell about her piece as well.
I am the younger sister. I'm the wiser one too.
We'll do that for the podcast. We'll get into some questions that address that. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
My name is Tamarisk Sparksdale. I am, as my sister said, I am a broker of my own real estate company here in Atlanta called Lux 11 Realty. We've blended the two together in order to be able to provide our clients with a one-stop shop type of service. And we are a family business, as we said. We are from Alabama. So we are Southern girls, and Southern girls have more nice, warm hearts.
The best hospitality.
Yes,
the best hospitality.
I will agree with that every single time. Totally agree. Yes.
Yeah. And that's
I'm from Philly, so when I moved down here, all my cousins make fun of me because they think that the South, we walk slower, we talk slower, and we have more hospitality. But you know what? Being being nice, you know what I mean? So tell me, how did y'all come to work together? Because that's the coolest thing. So what was the process of just over talking it through?
Well, it was really how we even got into this business was really interesting. I initially opened Yana Consulting because a friend of mine was just like, Angee, you would be really good at this, and let's just open your own company. And that happened, like the idea happened within an hour, and then an hour and 45 minutes later, Yana Consulting was started. And so I began meeting with some of my old contacts because I've been in the Atlanta area for a long time. I know a lot of people from the hospitals and the nursing community, the skilled nursing centers. And I was out marketing and helping seniors. And then I kind of realized, well, gosh, who's going to do this other stuff that I can't do, like, the numbers and the billing and that type of thing. And then I was talking to my illustrious sister over here. And she says, Angee, this is huge. This is going to be really good. I think, she says, I can do this. I said, well, I'll be darned. Yes, please help me. I need help. And so that's how Tamara and I became partners in Yana Consulting.
I don't think she really had a choice. I kind of
she inserted herself.
Being the little sister, I just kind of, wanted to hang on to my big sister, and I just jumped in there and decided that, this sounded like something that was going to be very beneficial for the senior community. I come with a lot of skills on the administrative side, and so I just wanted to make sure that we were able to build something that was going to be a well-oiled machine. Yeah.
And it has been.
I love that because I was talking to a gentleman at the ASCNN, and we were talking about the putting together of a team. And you have to recognize each person brings different skill sets.
Yes.
So if you don't, because you look at over time, so many successful companies, whether it's Apple, you down Dell, the printing company, HP, all of them had two people, and so one person was gifted at the tech side, the other was gifted at the connecting side, and just different things like that. So when you look at your business, how have you complemented so our viewers can kind of, one thing before you answer that, when somebody starts their own business and they're a solo, I always tell them, find somebody to work with, because it's so much better to collaborate and work with a partner. But you have to get that chemistry right. Are there
It has to be.
that you're yelling at each other saying, tell our viewers the challenges of it, and then we'll talk about, the good part of it too.
The challenges. Well, we haven't had a whole lot of challenges, and the few that we've had is really trying to kind of iron out who's going to have what role, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, well, Tamara, my role mainly is marketing and the relationships. And of course, we've tried to bring Tamara into that, and she does a good job, but that's not her main focus. So sometimes that may have been a challenge at times, but I feel like the biggest thing is allowing us to stay where we are where we're better at.
Yeah.
I'm not good at billing. I can barely add 2 + 2. Okay. So me trying to do billing would be a real hindrance to Yana Consulting. So I don't want to be in that lane. Tamara is very good in that lane. And she's very good with graphics, and is that what you call that?
Yeah. Graphic design.
Design and all of that. I wouldn't know, even if I tried, and I have tried, I can't do it. So we just stay in our lane. So mostly I'll let you go.
I think it's more so of us. We had to figure out what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and we play off of that. And so where Angee is, I won't necessarily call it a weakness, but where she is not as versed as maybe I am, or vice versa, we complement each other in that way. So yeah, we've bumped heads. We haven't had any major arguments or anything that would just split us apart.
Yeah.
But we definitely have times where we have had some disagreements in how we're doing things. And we've just had to kind of just take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and figure out, like she said, which roles are going to be best suited for each one of our personalities. And that's how we had to look at it.
And quite honestly, to be very transparent, that for anybody that's watching, that's starting to do this themselves and they're bringing on a new partner, the biggest key is really going to be to communicate and don't hold anything back. Once you do that, you're looking at offense and all of that. You're looking at having a very bad working relationship, and then things will topple after that. So it's so important to be transparent with each other and to be transparent with yourself, first, and then with your partner, and just work through it. That's the biggest thing right there. No secrets, just work through it.
And for us, it's always we're family first. We're family first, and we're going to always approach everything as sisters before partners.
Yeah.
That's so good. What about growing up? Give our viewers, because it's wonderful to have a family business, and then some work, some don't. Did you see anything growing up that you guys might work together later, or give our viewers an idea of that journey to just give them perspective of?
Not in a million years did I see this happening. Not in a million years. And we have another sister who is actually, she's 15 months older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she used to always tell me, Angie, you do so well with seniors. You need to have your own business. And I was like, not really listening to that. And
Yeah.
she was always encouraging all of us to go out on our own. And then finally, because of God, Yana Consulting was was born, and then it was all with these pleasant serendipitous mishaps of how we got together, and oh, I don't even know what the question was anymore. But
Early on, did you see yourself working together? Did you, like with your three sisters, usually three, and I'm part of a family with three sisters. I have two sisters and five granddaughters, so I've always been around girls.
Yeah.
I have two sisters, old in my family. So I think that, we see ourselves, doing gravitating to each other. Like your older sister, were you two closer? And that's, or just maybe later?
Yes, yeah, we actually we're closer in the sense of age, and that we were Tamara's is several years younger than us. Okay, so we are, and
Almost a decade.
almost a decade younger than us.
Really?
Um,
Oh, okay. So
she is. So I never really saw myself working with Tamara's in that sense. Did
Yeah.
you ever see yourself working
No,
with me?
I think because I've always been there's four of us
Mhm.
in all, four sisters, no brothers.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, there's four of us.
I mean,
And
there's, I mean, I love that because I don't know any different. I mean, I have brothers, but being around girls, there's that sixth sense. There's that. It just the communication seems to be better. I was just talking when I was at AS. You know how ladies would come up and say, "Hey, I love your earrings," or they say
Yeah.
the more personal things. It's like I don't go up to my friends and say, "Hey, I like your haircut," or whatever. We just don't say guys talk sports. They talk,
Yeah.
stuff, but girls have a different communication style. Has that helped you think, by being four sisters in the family? Like, explain to our viewers maybe the dynamics of that, what you guys think right now as you look back.
well, we grew up differently
Yeah.
because we're a blended family.
Okay.
So our fourth sister lived up north.
Okay.
And I was raised with Angie and our other sister.
Uh-huh.
And we come from a military family. Our dad was in the military,
Mhm.
and our mom was a nurse. She's a retired nurse.
Mhm.
And I guess we never we were I wasn't that close to them because there was such an age gap.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't start getting close to my
Older.
sister until we got older and we could actually relate to some things. So
Yeah.
it was later on in life, and probably my 20s, 30s is when we really started to come
Mhm.
together and have like that sister bond.
Yeah.
Before then, I think I was just a nuisance to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got on their nerves.
She was.
Totally. Totally.
And I might still get on their nerves a little bit.
And
Yeah.
I will say that our older sister, Dee Dee, she's an entrepreneur herself, a serial entrepreneur, and she has always been into self-help. And she actually taught us a lot about how to communicate. She has a degree in communications. Here we go. So she taught us a lot about communicating, and she's a hard knock the way she teaches you. It's like, you didn't communicate this well.
Yeah.
You must communicate better. Okay. So all that has really helped us.
Yeah.
What would give our viewers, because I love how you said the personal development, because I think as business owners, we have to be more conscious of our development, our growing.
Yes.
Maybe just because, hey, look, when you wake up, if you guys don't make it happen, nothing happens. You
Right.
don't have a guaranteed paycheck. it's like you create the value out there, then the market pays you. But it's not like you just show up and you get a paycheck.
Yes.
How is that, like, for our people out there that might be not in that situation? How is that kind of like, because you're both earning a living, and how do you set goals, and what give our viewers an idea of how y'all collaborate from the sense of planning and executing?
Okay. Well, I do it a couple of different ways. Um, first of all, I have a career coach that I consult with. I
Mhm.
also have my older sister Dee Dee, who
Is a coach.
she's a coach. Unofficially, she's a coach, and she loves telling us what we should be doing, and I love that. I also have spiritual coaches that I consult with, who also kind of say, okay, you should be doing it this way, or consult this and that, and then Tamara and I come together about once a week to talk about what we're going to be doing on the upcoming week, and our short-term goals and our long-term goals as well, which are constantly changing as well too. So that's kind of how we do it, and we're constantly revamping that too, because opportunities come up and it's like, wow, this sounds like a good opportunity. Like podcast Pete, that's a great opportunity. Let's go that route. So anything to add to that, Tam?
No, she's right. We set our annual goals just like most businesses do, and then we try to scale and measure things. At the end of the year, we try to reassess where we are. Did we accomplish those things, and then let's reset, or let's work our goals for the following year or the year to come. So we do try to come together and come up with new ways. Obviously, technology is always changing.
Yes.
So we're trying to figure out how to build our brand within this new way of the world, and it's been really helpful so far. But we're just going to continue to meet on a weekly basis and just look at our overall plan and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Mhm. What I love how you said you have a lot of different coaches. I remember way back 20 years ago, Bill Gates hired a bridge coach, and I was going like, a bridge coach? What? I mean, you got to learn how to play bridge. But as he explained, he wanted to learn faster, and if you want to, learn something, somebody that's done it can provide that. And I think, accountability coaching is like, my coach he has 4 coaches, and
Wow.
he constantly is investing. And he told me, because Tony Robbins, Brendan Bouchard, he said he has his PhD in human behavior. It's not human behavior, but it's something like that. And he just is an educational point, but it impressed upon him about 7 years ago, how important it was and what results he got as he started investing in himself. So tell our viewers, like, what books that you might recommend. What can you share with our audience when it comes to the development of yourselves and your business that's been helpful?
I'll let you go.
I think it's just having a routine, a daily routine, that you are going to develop habits, right? So, for instance, in the morning, my routine is, when I wake up, I go into prayer, and then from prayer, I'll go into just my quiet time to just sit for a moment.
Mhm.
And then I like to incorporate a little bit of reading. If I have some time in the morning time, I'll do a little bit of reading on either some self development books or mindset books. And then I kind of get into my day. So for me, it's just having a set routine each day of knowing that you're going to do X, Y, Z. And then at the end of the day, I always try to rethink and ask myself, how did you win the day? What did you do today that you won? What
Yeah.
small thing, what large thing, whatever it may be, because sometimes it's just the smallest thing that you did. And that could have been that you acquired a new client or a prospect. That's a win. That's one more person you had a conversation with that could potentially turn into a client that you can help later. So that's how I look at the day. Angee, what about you?
Mine is fairly similar. Monday through Sunday, I am on it's called an Arise and Shine call, and it's from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's through my church, and it's a prayer call, but it's also a business and mentoring call as well. And we
Mhm.
set weekly goals, we set monthly goals,
Mhm.
and we set yearly goals on those calls as well. And we pray our way through those goals, and we sit down and we listen for God's voice and for His leading. The whole thing is for God to order your steps, so you're not having a bunch of missteps, you know. And that's been a tremendous help to me and to Yana Consulting.
Yeah, that I love that for our viewers to take that home because, you know, we have our plan, God has his plan for us. And whenever, I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but whenever I put my plan out there, it was a train wreck. And when God's plan was taking it and like you said, guiding the steps, it's like the wind is behind your sails. And it's magical from a standpoint of when you see things happen and you're going, holy mackerel. If I would have done this years ago, I wouldn't have
Yes,
How much further could we
yes,
be?
that's so good that every day that you have that time of prayer and goals and just, because we don't know what we're capable of doing. And through that spiritual mentoring, through that God's plan, I mean, it's 1,000 times better than what we can think of.
it
But
is.
we tend to take that fleshly, okay, I can do it. And it's good that I'm glad you shared that because, I have talked to people that, and we'll talk about goals just from a standpoint. And it's like, I'd say, when was the last time you looked at your goals? Oh, I don't know, 6 months ago. And it's kind of like, if you don't look at them, if you're not always tuned into it, how do you know where you're going? I mean, it's common sense isn't always common practice, but as business owners, I love how you just described a morning routine because setting that morning routine. Tell me about your evening routine. I love that starting the day. You're winding down. What does it look like?
Ooh, I'll let you go on that one.
My evenings are chaotic. I'm a mama.
Mhm.
So I have my 13-year-old daughter at home
Mhm.
um, that I'm usually tending to in some kind of way.
Yeah.
But usually when it's time to really wind down, I just like to have my alone time. I
Mhm.
want her to just go on about her business, and I would like to just sit in peace. And I reflect. I do. I reflect on a day a lot. I reflect on what has happened thus far. If it's middle of the week, I'm kind of thinking back to Monday and Tuesday
Mhm.
about those things that kind of have happened. I'm also looking forward to the things that are going to happen the next day. So that is my time of reflection. And then I also would like to take time to just give time back to the Lord in the evening time as I'm laying down in the bed. That's my time to really thank God for the day and hope for tomorrow.
Wow,
Exactly.
that's really good. Angie, what about yourself?
So I oftentimes don't get home until 8 o'clock and after 8 o'clock.
Mhm.
So I'll just run in, grab a shower, and then I feel the urgency because it's late to make sure I sit down. And the first order of the evening is to spend some time with God, reading my word, kind of, and like Tamara's, kind of talking it out.
Mhm.
Maybe if I need to do some repenting, I'll do some repenting.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'll sit down and try to unwind my brain a little bit more and try not to answer any emails and stuff like that, or either I will answer some if I need to, and do a little bit of research. And then I'll do something really mindless, like watch some dodo animal videos to
Mhm.
to kind of take the brain off of autopilot, and then I go to bed.
Mhm.
So I
What
keep it really simple.
Yeah, that's good. Do either of you do any meditation? Has that been part of a routine, or have you tried it, or are you doing it?
I do. I do meditation quite a bit actually. I
Mhm.
take time out and suggest, and sometimes I'll do it in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It just depends on what's happening. I do believe that you have to have a way of just resetting yourself. And
Wow.
sometimes when you're a little
Yeah.
frantic or out of sorts, you just need a moment of just silence and just sitting in that silence for a little bit and just reflecting. So yeah, I definitely meditate.
Okay, so I'd like to do that.
and
I'm gonna try to do that.
and the breathing, the breath
Yeah.
controls, and
Yes. Yes. I'm a big I'm ADHD, and so I have that, I call that active brain. So, yeah, calming down the brain, meditation is probably the best. And what you said, I want our viewers to take that home too, is that reset. I was in like a waiting room with it was about a hernia. So it was older people in there. There was 16 people in that room,
Mhm.
and 14 of them were on their phone. And everybody gives the younger people a hard time about being on the phone, but you know that time to reset and close your eyes and just kind of soak in the day, because that digital phone, we're getting bombarded by stuff all the time, and our brains can only handle so much.
It's true,
That,
Pete.
what you said, that reset,
Mhm.
it's not, a lot of people do it the end of the day, before the day, but during the day, because we're hustle bustle, to sit back instead of defaulting to your phone and maybe social media, but you close your eyes and do
Mhm.
that little reset. And it's just amazing what it does for us when we're not in that hustle and bustle of the information that just is coming on the phone is on our hip all the time, not hip, but I mean on our
Yeah.
possession. And
Yeah.
so I love that you said that. And the whole idea is to really kind of be present, and just what you said about resetting. Resetting is probably one of the underused habits, I think, in what I've, in talking to people on the podcast, that we don't think about it because we're running, 90 miles an hour every day. We don't think that brain, you know, 50 years ago, we didn't have phones.
Yeah.
So we didn't have all this stuff, even before you go to bed, those light that comes from the phone, it does affect us.
It
And
does.
it's trying to disconnect enough that we don't allow the technology to rule us. So as we wind down, I want you to tell our viewers, like, I know people love to work with sisters. So if somebody wants to work with y'all, how would they get a hold of you?
You go ahead.
Well, they can either call the number that they see on the screen. That is the best way to reach us. But if they want to just kind of check us out online, then our website is Yana, that's YANA, is life.com. So it's Yana is life.com. It'll tell you a little bit more about our services and what we have to offer. Just give us a call. We would love to talk with someone to just give our advice or help them through this time of need.
And
Awesome.
we give a lot of free advice, free services, because it's one of these things where people are in such dire straits for help, and they don't know which. Oftentimes we hear, I didn't even know a company like yours existed," and we can tell you what direction to go into. without expecting anything from us.
Mhm. Well, I love that you said that, Angie, because your giver's heart, if you're just giving, I mean, we don't give to receive, but we give to serve. And so it's amazing how it circles back. But that I love how you shared that. But for our Spotify users, give the phone number to them because they're going to want to get a hold of the sisters because everybody loves to work with family, and the idea that you cover so many important things in the journey in senior care that give our viewers the phone number to reach you.
The phone number is 678-201-1504. And I'll say it again, 678-201-1504. Or you can call or email us at Angee, ANGEE, at Yana, YANA is life, LIFE.com, or Tamarisk at yanaislife.com.
Awesome. I want to thank you, and I'll leave that up on the screen. I want to encourage our viewers, share this video. If you know people that you want to have two people with the different skill set, it's almost like, I love it. Like in real estate, I always was partial when you had a husband and wife because you had 2 for 1, and so it's almost like when they hire y'all, they get 2 for 1. They get your influence, your connections, your resources.
Yes.
The problems are solved quicker because y'all are collaborating in the marketplace. So as we go away, I want y'all to share one thing with our viewers you would like them to take home from our podcast today. And Angie, you can go first since you're the older sister.
Okay, thank you. One thing I would like for you all to take home is that our seniors are a very special population of people, and they suffer greatly in ways that we do not know. They don't share a lot of what they go through. And I would like family members and friends to be more active and engaged in the life of seniors and to ask more questions. And if you see that there are some concerns, please reach out and help them. I've seen a lot of them go to die early over things that could have been resolved had they had a little bit of help, had they had some solid advice, had they sought help. So that's what I would like the viewers to go away with is please help our seniors.
Oh, that's really good. Tamaris, what would be your closing thoughts to our viewers?
It would be to do your research, do your homework when you're looking at different agencies or facilities to place your loved one in. To just do your research. If you decide not to go with a company to assist you, then make sure that you are doing everything in your power to vet the people that are going to be caring for your loved ones.
Yes.
That is the most important thing, because that is what our business is about. It's about us caring so deeply for your loved ones that we're going to do our very best to make sure that we are taking great care of them as well as you and assisting in the process. So just be aware, don't ignore the signs, and just try to be as open and receptive as possible to the advice or resources that are being offered to you. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for y'all to take your time out to be with our community and to share so openly. Very helpful strategies. And I just think that's, being able to hear it and being able to share it. I want to thank you for doing that. So thank you for being
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for us.
My pleasure. Okay.
Bye.